Hello everyone, welcome back to another video on Dreams. Today I will be telling you 5 games that I would like to see remade in Dreams. This list is in no particular order, and if there are any more games you would like to see remade, let me know in the comments section and I might make a part 2. The first game I would like to see remade would be Undertale. Undertale is a widely loved little gem and people love to remake the boss fights from it, or just make anything Undertale in general. Online, on Scratch, on LittleBigPlanet you can find Undertale content, but normally it isn't very good due to limitations. The Sans fight on Scratch immediately comes to mind, no matter how hard I tried to force it out. The online bad time simulator made in JavaScript is actually pretty good, but it's only the Sans boss fight and there are only so many times you can listen to Megalovania before the notes start to crawl into your ears and you begin to have a bad time. In Dreams it would be really cool to see the entire game remade, and I think it would be very possible depending on how limiting the thermometer is, which has been a common worry. Undertale isn't a hugely complex game, it's not a massive dense open world with lots of side quests, so it would probably be one of the easier games on this list to remake. The second game would be Amnesia: The Dark Descent. I've played a fair bit of Dark Descent and seeing Media Molecule's Halloween level really reminded me of it, and I think horror games along the lines of Dark Descent would work really well. Amnesia is fairly linear in its story, so again, wouldn't be too difficult to recreate, and if it isn't recreated I'm sure there will be loads of similar games to be found. Horror games in general would likely be popular with creators, as the majority of indie games seem to be horror. Just go on Game Jolt, there's a ton of them. They can become really successful too. We had Slender all those years ago, then FNAF, then Bendy, DDLC, Baldi's Basics, Granny. Of course, most of these games are more simplistic in terms of gameplay and graphics, but in Dreams these same sorts of people will be able to do more without the need for a big team. I still think all the games I listed are great for what they are, and it's these more basic horror games that I find more interesting. But when something like DDLC can be made in Python, I think people will be using Dreams for things more on the scale of Amnesia. The next game would be The Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. This game would of course be a lot harder to recreate, being an open world with hundreds of dungeons and side quests and NPCs, but the Elder Scrolls community are up to this sort of challenge. We can see this through projects like Tamriel Rebuilt and Beyond Skyrim. If a similar team worked on Morrowind in Dreams, it wouldn't be as demanding a task as what some Elder Scrolls modders have already produced. Morrowind is probably my favourite RPG of its kind, and despite it being widely loved by the more devout Elder Scrolls fans, it has been dismissed by dirty casual gamers due to its graphics, combat system and lack of fast travel. It's harder to get into than say Skyrim, but once you get going it's really fun. And hey, there's a strip club if nothing else interests you. I think if it was made on Dreams, it wouldn't really stand out as old amid other Dreams games, so I think people might find it easier to appreciate the game for what it is. I'm sure everyone saw the next one from a mile away. It would be great to see LittleBigPlanet remade in its entirety in Dreams. I'm sure that from launch, or possibly already during the beta, people will be working on remaking LittleBigPlanet. Of course, there wouldn't seem to be much reason for doing this, as I would already have Dreams itself and LittleBigPlanet on my PS4, and it wouldn't really gain anything from online multiplayer like the single player games on the list might. But I think a huge project like this, if pulled off right, would be a message to Media Molecule that we love Dreams, but we also love LittleBigPlanet. And after Dreams maybe we'll see a new LBP game. Who knows? And if Dreams becomes a huge success on PS4, maybe people will discover LBP through it, and the LBP community would begin to grow again. The last game I will mention today is The Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim. If Morrowind was tough, Skyrim will likely be tougher to recreate in Dreams with its more elaborate quests and combat and the like. But then again, it has less cities and character attributes and stuff are less complex. If Skyrim was recreated, I would love it to be multiplayer. As well as sandbox and horror games, what I want to see most in Dreams are multiplayer RPGs that I can play with my friends, as well as us making our own, because MMOs are boring and there is a lack of real multiplayer experiences online. I don't want to offend anyone, but Fortnite kind of sucked at the point I stopped playing 10 months ago, although create mode does look kind of cool. But at this point, I'm not going back. I hope I can persuade my friends to get Dreams because GTA 5 just doesn't compare to, well, anything that I play by myself. The same can be said with Brawlhalla. The great thing about Dreams is that if no one else in the world can create a fun multiplayer experience, I can. I made Hangman in Python, I'm like a AAA developer already. Skyrim is much more likely to be recreated than Morrowind, but if the remake becomes really popular, then recreations of Oblivion and Morrowind, and perhaps Daggerfall and Arena, would be sure to follow. That's 5 games that I would like to see remade in Dreams. Let me know what games you would like to see in the comments, and if you would like to see a part 2. Perhaps you would like to be the one to make one of the games on this list. But that's all for now. I hope to see you later.